The Mind in the Mind by Lebogang Lesley Kubayi. Dedication. To my family, my village, and every dreamer who was told to only survive. This book is proof that survival is not the end, it is the beginning. Acknowledgements. To those who believed when laughter was louder than faith, Mama Grace, Sibusiso, Cabello, Prince Letabo, and every friend who carried a piece of this dream. And to the reader, you are now part of the mind. Preface. This is not a memoir, but every page is born of truth. The names have changed, the faces are painted in fiction, but the dream is real. The boy in Soweto who listened at windows, the young man in Tayani who dared to imagine machines humming in a village where only crickets sang. He exists. His story is stitched from the dust of our streets, the weight of our doubts, and the light of a vision too stubborn to die. This book is not only a novel, it is also a rig, my first mining rig. Each chapter is a machine, each word a watt of power, each reader a co-miner. Together we are building something bigger than a story. We are building a future. The mine is not underground. It is not locked in banks. It is not only in Bitcoin, though Bitcoin is part of the path. The true mine is here, in the mind. A place where beliefs are forged, where possibilities are minted, where freedom is first imagined before it is lived. If you are holding this book, you are already part of it. Every page you turn adds power to the vision. Every lesson you take plants a seed not only in your life, but in the lives of others who will come after. This is the mine in the mind. Welcome inside.
Chapter 1. The Seed. Soweto, late 1980s. The township never rested. Even at dusk, the streets pulsed like restless drums, the squeal of minibus taxis crammed with tired workers, the hollow boom of a soccer ball kicked against a brick wall, the sing-song whistle of a hawker selling roasted mealies. Smoke from paraffin stoves hung heavy in the air, mixing with the scent of stewing cabbage and dust. Laughter of children ricocheted between patched houses of tin and brick, their wire cars sparking trails across the brown earth. Lebogang was among them, his small legs coated in powder from hours of barefoot running. But tonight he was still. Instead of chasing the others, he crouched on the stoop of his grandmother's two-room house in Chiawelo, head tilted toward the crack in the curtain, listening. Inside, grown-up voices wrestled with the night. "Money doesn't grow here," muttered Uncle Phineas, his tone thick and bitter, like sorghum left too long to ferment. "Money lives in Santon, in the banks, in those tall buildings where people already have more than enough." A tired sigh followed. Aunt Grace, always practical, spoke as though explaining a law of nature. "We survive. That's what we do, survive. Don't put dreams in the boy's head, it will only hurt him later." The boy's chest tightened. The words were stones thrown into the still pool of his mind. Survive. Enough. Not for us. His grandmother, Mama Dolly, shuffled at the stove, her bangles clinking as she poured black tea into chipped enamel cups. "Hawu, you speak like dead men," she scolded softly, trying to cut the bitterness. "What is life if we stop telling the young ones stories of hope?" But the others only shook their heads. Outside, Lebogang's fists pressed into his knees. He didn't understand the numbers in the adults' sentences, but he understood the weight. To them, money was a mountain on the horizon, visible, real, but far beyond their reach. That night, on the thin mattress spread over the cold concrete floor, Lebogang stared at the corrugated iron roof. Every creak, every whistle of the township wind seemed to echo the voices he had overheard. Not for us. Survive. Enough. And yet, beneath that heaviness, something else stirred. A whisper not from the adults, but from somewhere deeper, inside him, beneath thought, below fear. "What you believe will become what you live." The words were not spoken in Sepedi, or English, or any tongue he knew. They arrived like a coal glowing in ash, not loud, not forceful, but undeniable. Lebogang closed his eyes and felt it, the difference between what the world had spoken over him and what his mind wanted to grow. The mine was not in the ground, not yet in machines or riches. It was somewhere else, invisible, a seed planted in the mind of a barefoot boy in Soweto, and seeds, given time, crack even the hardest stone. Conclusion of Chapter 1. The mine was not in the ground, not yet in machines or riches. It was somewhere else, invisible, a seed planted in the mind of a barefoot boy in Soweto, and seeds, given time, crack even the hardest stone. That night, Lebogang did not sleep easily. The adult's words rang against the walls of his chest, but so did the whisper. He did not yet know what it meant, or how it would grow, only that it had been planted. He was too young to understand that a seed does not ask permission from the soil. It only waits for its season.